Bill Gates, yeah. Bill Gates buys and sells
How much
iPhones.
money does he have
He's
now?
probably got like $80 billion.
Okay.
That's not a lot. This guy, the richest man in the world, has 11 billion.
He has 80 billion.
Oh!
Yeah.
What about 100
And I said
trillion?
8 billion.
What about 100 trillion?
Nobody really has that money. But the point is, what you're talking about is these guys, right? They're in the business of buying and selling ideas. And who do they buy the ideas from? They buy them from kids like you. Because they say, look, these kids are in the game. They're constantly talking to their friends. So he's like, oh man, I wish this iPhone would do this. I wish there was an app where I could, I don't know, play Tetris with my friends in China and play Tetris with my friends in America, and then I could also tweet Facebook at the same time. So they create an app. He comes up with the idea because he stays home all day and he just plays his computer all day. He writes up the app. Then they contact him and they say, hey, how you doing? How much you want for it? He says, $20,000. $20,000, never am I going to have $20,000 in my life? He takes the idea, he sells the $20,000. The lawyers come, they say, you can never say that this is your idea again. He signs the dot. Before you know it, it's on the iPhone. And that's it. He made $20,000. He feels like he's the happiest. I've just made $20 billion off that idea.
Wait, what if they give you like $20,000,
Okay.
but then you say like no, I want more, and then they give you like
Can't do it. It's already in a contract. Before he walks out of that room, the lawyer's going to say to you, here's $20,000. You no longer exist. This idea is not yours. If he tries to come out and say that it's his idea, what am I going to do now? I'm going to sue him. And I'm going to get my $20,000 right back from him. He's going to go back to living in a box. Okay, it's not going to happen.
No, like they say, I'll give you $20,000 if you sell me the idea. He's like, no, I want more.
Well, then he can do that. He can say, look, they can come to you and say, hey man, you wrote code. Remember in the computer class we had? You write C++, you write programming language. Like for example, if I want to write a code that says at 12 o'clock, all the lights come on, all right, and the table goes down and the lunch comes up, okay? I can write a code for that and it'll happen. I'll just press a button. That code, I think, is worth $50,000, right? Let's say it's $50,000. You say, okay, I'll sell it to you. But you don't want to pay $50,000. You want to try to get it for cheaper, right? Yeah. So you say, I'll give you 40. But I say, you know what? 75.
Whoa.
Even if if you pay me the 75 for the code, I'm still going to make out $75 million for the code because I have more money to market it. So the idea is, yeah, I'll pay him $50,000.
But just ask him for most money, and then they'll have so little money, and then you can buy your company.
Well, guess what? By telling did he tell me about his idea already?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, because we had the conversation. Now the only way he can protect his idea now is if he already did something called patent. If he didn't patent his idea, which means that he didn't go to a place and say, well, this is my idea, and he got paperwork that says he came up with it, then now that we had this conversation, I could run back to my factory and do the technology myself and steal his idea just like that.
Oh.
Okay,
wow.
A good story about that, I'll give you a really cool story, a real snapshot. Back in the days when they were inventing what? The light bulb, right? Who was the person that invented the light bulb?
And Thomas Jefferson.
Not Thomas Jefferson, man. That's
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, okay. Now Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, right? But there was a guy. Now listen up. There was a guy that was working on the light bulb before him and had the idea. His name was Antonio Mazzei. He was an Italian guy. But guess what? He got on a ferry coming to New York City, and guess what happens to the ferry?
Boom.
It went down. Okay, so he ends up dying.
Yeah.
He has the ideas in his hands for the light bulb. He has it before Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison knows about this guy. So what happens is he ends up getting on the ferry, he ends up going down in the ship, and Thomas Edison gets to the patent office before him and submits the paperwork, and then Thomas Edison is credited of being what? The inventor of the
light bulb.
But really the truth is, he didn't invent crap. It was Antonio Mazzei that had it. And the only reason that he got the credit was because he died on the ferry ride. But guess what? Over time, what they did was they did an investigation. They said, you know what, Antonio Mazzei. So they said that Antonio Mazzei is the father of the light bulb, but Thomas Edison is the inventor. But yeah, stuff like that.
The father of the light bulb.
He's lucky.
The father.
He's pretty lucky. But the idea is, like I said, if you're talking about having ideas, you got to be very careful about who you share them with. Otherwise, you can lose them. Okay? So what we're going to do now is, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to read this. Just say, it says, what is the moonlight? Take about 5 minutes, and then I ask you some questions, all right? So take about 5 minutes to read that now.
From here.
Look at this. You see these right here? That's the Wi-Fi. So now if you keep this like this on your chest. Well, if you play this game like this, you see how I'm playing it like this? I'm keeping it close to my body, right? That's where you could have a problem. Okay? So that's why something like this, although it doesn't seem like it's dangerous right now, you're talking about for 5 you playing video games like this, it could cross. But this is the Wi-Fi right here. That's the danger. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
We have can we give it to you?
Yeah. Alright, you gonna bring it next when you so you have that on your nails?
Yeah. Can we eat McDonald's?
Don't worry about that, save it, okay?
No, forget. Are you recording this?
Or